us that they were tracking down criminals at a time when crime typically spikes.
The operation went on for 10 days. Officers would work different areas in the city, day and night. They say the criminals never saw them coming until it was too late. Guns, money, drugs, and dangerous criminals taken off the streets of the city of South Fulton during Operation Santa's Helpers. In 10 days in December, police officers targeted high crime areas.
During the holiday season, people take that time to commit crimes.
There were prostitution stings, drug busts, and homes were raided.
We locked up 7 individuals. We obtained 5 guns from that location, 300 plus grams of marijuana, ecstasy pills, cocaine.
A total of 50 people were arrested. These 3 were the first to be locked up after speeding away from a gas station on Cascade Road.
And wrecked out in the middle of the street and left all his drugs and money and gun in the car.
Operation Santa's Helpers was conducted directly after Operation Gobble Gobble in November. Together, the back-to-back operations netted 102 arrests, 38 guns, more than $60,000 seized, and plenty of drugs. Lieutenant Shannon McKessie says it's about keeping citizens safe and putting criminals on notice.
We're going to continuously combat crime. We're going to continuously, dismantle and disrupt a lot of these criminal, organizations down here that's bringing this criminal activity to the city of South Fulton.
Police say
But that is the situation we are dealing with as we take this live look outside through our Georgia Power camera. Even if some people didn't get snow, they still experienced some winter cold temperatures.
Yeah, a bit of a shock to the system after being in the 70s just a few days ago, David.
Was that a few days ago? I don't know. The cold has got my brain going. Yeah, we found temperatures well down below the average after being record-setting over the past couple of days. We had some snowfall across the southeast, a good chunk up here in Tennessee, northern Alabama, several inches, and 1 to 2 inches there in western Alabama. And here in North Georgia, there were pockets where we saw the snow come down pretty good. Up there in the northwest corner of the state, they were dealing with tornadoes the first part of the day, and then snow to finish it up into the overnight. And then you got a little bit out.
Who say they were naturally panicked.
Right when the doors closed and it started going up, it just fell. It felt like whoever's holding the elevators dropped it.
We all floated up in the air and then it crashed, stopped or whatever. And we all freaked out for a little while. And
it was at least 4 seconds that we were dropping. Our feet were completely off the ground and we didn't land in the same place where we came off the ground. It was insane.
And terrifying moments. Now, those 8 strangers say they were in town for a conference at Mercedes-Benz and have been bonded over the experience. No word on what caused the elevator to malfunction. Thousands of students across the Atlanta metro triple pay in an attempt to get its flights back on schedule. Pilots can earn the extra pay for picking up trips during most of this month. United Airlines alone canceled 200 flights over the past week and a half. A new law for
from a dusting to around 1.5 inches across much of North Georgia, but it's going to be those winds gusting up to 35 miles per hour. It's going to make it feel really cold. And this goes into effect at midnight, lasts until 9 a.m. tomorrow. The counties of Murray, Gilmer, Fannin, Union, and Towns, they have an even better chance of that cold air moving in when the moisture is available. So there we're expecting to see up to 4 inches of heavy wet snow. So we could see some accumulations there. But as warm as the roadways have been, it's going to kind of turn to slush very quickly. The temperatures will be dropping, so it bears watching carefully into the overnight hours in terms of slippery roadways here across far North Georgia as we head into tomorrow. And those winds howling at 45 miles per hour. The snow will be coming in as we head into the overnight hours, and by the morning commute, it should be drying out. So we still could see some significant accumulations here in the highest elevations in far North Georgia. Look at these temperatures behind the front, incredible. In the teens right now in St. Louis, we're at 33 degrees in Jackson, Mississippi, and we're still in the upper 50s here, but those temperatures will be plummeting overnight. We'll have the rain moving in, so we couldn't.
I nearly lost my life to depression, and I was given that chance to be here today and to see myself accomplishing my own dreams. I wouldn't have been able to do that if I didn't survive.
This band of sisters helping others get through too. I am all about serving our fellow veterans, because we are still often forgotten, and giving back is a really true passion for me.
Those calendars are available right now. That is NBC Nightly News on this Sunday. Lester Holt will be back with you tomorrow.
With imagination, but Verne almost seems like a time traveler with the accuracy of his predictions. They say art imitates life, but in the case of Jules Verne, maybe it's the other way around. On National Science Fiction Day, celebrate with some classic sci-fi books or movies and your own voyage of the imagination. I'm Mark.
Your car, and it was just like, where am I?
Devastating wildfires sweeping across Boulder County, Colorado, destroying roughly 500 homes and charring at least 1,600 acres as of Thursday, prompting tens of thousands of mandatory evacuations. Officials believe knocked over power lines triggered the blaze as fierce winds clocking in at more than 100 miles per hour whipped up massive flames across several heavily populated neighborhoods.
Boulder County is right in and around suburban subdevelopments, and so 1,600 acres near a population center can be, and is in this case, absolutely devastating.
But once the fires are extinguished and crews determine it's safe to evaluate the damage, officials say they're concerned with what they may find among the debris.
Due to the magnitude of this fire, the intensity of this fire, and its presence in such a heavily populated area, we would not be surprised if there are injuries or fatalities.
But no matter how scary the situation, many community members say their main concern is about each other's well-being.
It sounds cliche-ish, but houses and things can get replaced. Hope my neighbors have all heeded the warning.
A field day on this lot, grabbing any piece of equipment they could, all while surveillance cameras were rolling. Take a look at this surveillance video. Crooks roll in with pickup trucks and steal heavy equipment from this Bobcat dealership on Best Friend Road in Norcross.
It makes you pretty angry.
Jason Annette is the branch manager. He tells Fox 5 thieves first broke in on Christmas Day.
The alarm sounded.
They ran.
When the police showed up, they didn't see anything of suspicion because I actually cut just the chain to slide open our gate.
But the criminals came back the next day.
At that point, proceeded to steal about 13 pieces of equipment.
What did they steal?
They stole 9 zero-turn mowers, drum mulcher, 2 forestry mulchers, MT100, and a UV34, as well as 3 trailers.
Watch as they methodically load the gear onto trailers and hook it up to these pickup trucks.
When you're able to make away with as much money as they did in equipment, you know, I guess you got to say that maybe they knew what they were doing.
Annette estimates crooks got away with about 210.
Spreads easily between people in close quarters on board ships, and the chance of getting COVID-19 on cruise ships is very high. The latest surge in COVID-19 cases has taken hold here in Georgia. More than 24,000 new COVID-19 cases were reported by state health officials today. That shatters the record set just yesterday. In the last 7 days, more than 92,000 new cases have been confirmed in Georgia. That's equivalent to the total number of cases reported over the previous 57 days. A would-be burglar gets quite the scare after breaking into a clubhouse. What he saw that sent him running and had authorities laughing.
Rise up with the
on the verge of a new year and what should be peak season for the service industry, restaurants are instead reacting to the latest rise in COVID cases.
I mean, it's evolving. You operate smart. That's what we've learned even more through this.
At Mojo in Cleveland, chef and owner Michael Hirschman has adapted more than once. Now, he requires customers to show proof of vaccination to dine indoors, even though it's not a city or state mandate in Ohio. That rule helping Hirschman bring in business.
With support from our customers, we've had people that have been coming in here maybe twice a week who would have come in here once every few weeks because it's a safe place to go.
Across the country, restaurants are finding ways to survive another winter with COVID, with some going back to carry out only, while others temporarily shut down.
Effective December
22nd, our brew pub is temporarily closed.
So it's really up to the operator what they're going to do, and I think that directly correlates to the amount of business they're going to do. I think it's going to be tough for restaurants. I don't think anything's come easy for them.
And COVID isn't the only concern, with restaurants continuing to see pandemic supply chain issues and staff shortages. The question now,
can they weather the storm? Because these things are broken, and they will be fixed. It's just the time frame is a concern.
To carry out a visual inspection of the wreckage there. The submarine with 48 sailors on board sank after torpedoes fired by a British submarine hit it. Well, the United Kingdom's Mint has now released the new coins for 2022, and one of them will mark the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. Britain's longest reigning monarch will mark her 70th year on the throne in 2022. Two newly designed coins will be released to commemorate her reign. Well, the 4 years before those attacks. A 14-year-old boy in Texas facing capital murder charges in a triple murder at a gas station. Police say he is still on the run and they consider him armed and dangerous. Now, Garland police want to find Abel Elias Acosta. Detectives say they have evidence which shows he's the gunman who killed 3 teenagers and wounded a 4th on Sunday at a convenience store. Investigators say the boy's father, who acted as a getaway driver in that shooting, has since turned himself in. Well, we've all probably heard by now of driverless cars, but what about driverless semi-trucks? It's kind of scary. They've already hit the road in Arizona. A semi-truck recently completed an 80-mile route without anybody behind the wheel, as it used technology developed by the company, Too Simple. Now, the driverless truck successfully navigated the interstate. It used traffic signals, it made lane changes, did all of it, even used on and off ramps. Well, coming up on Fox...
Find you.
There have been people harmed in Gwinnett County, and you look statistically, the majority of them have been children.
Kids like this 9-year-old who was hit by celebratory gunfire in 2019 on Griffin Street in Northwest Atlanta. We spoke with his mother after he was shot in the stomach.
It could have hit his heart. It was really close to his heart. To stop the shooting, a lot of kids, a lot of people that are innocent getting.
It races again to the east at about 55 miles an hour. So this is going to be the first of what I'm afraid is probably going to be many warnings across the area. These quick spin-up tornadoes that we're going to see kind of along this line. We're also going to see some wind gusts probably up.
I think I'll go with an old standby.
Is anything like this wild ride.
Obviously, Michigan. Rooting for Michigan.
What I will say is that I'm going to go with GA because we stay there too. But with that being said, hey, congratulations.
Somebody likes to feed the rats here. I don't know why, but we got bad enough problem with rats here in this building as it is. Why do they insist on putting this brat out?